Good Monday. I'm Chris Vogt. This is Monday Morning Jolt. Let's get started. Sharona?
Good morning. With us today is the man from this place who was
The man.
gracious enough to give the location, New Ground Coffee Company, and his name is Sid, and everybody goes by Sid. So I don't even know the last name.
It's Sid Gauby, but
Sid
that's all right.
Sid Gauby, and I know you told me 5 times, but the thing is, like, Sid is a very interesting person. Not only he is very knowledgeable with coffee and tea, he is also a pastor, right?
And a photographer?
And a photographer, and he's like multi things. So the cool thing about Sid is, like, sometimes when I come to this place, he's brewing something or putting cold water or hot water or something like that and doing some experimental thing, right?
Yes, that's
So I think I mentioned some of the things that you do. What did I miss?
you pretty well covered it. I'm a pastor, husband, father, play around with photography, keep my hands in coffee or out of it as much as possible, and but most of all, I'm about people, connecting people to hopefully good coffee, something that rewards or lifts the soul, but also conversation that encourages and allows people to look around the world and see that there's more to them than just the circumstances that they find themselves in.
Well, we want to thank you for helping. You talked about connecting, allowing us to utilize this space for Monday Morning Jolt
You're welcome.
and help us connect businesses.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
So, you don't really have a normal work week. I can tell by the things that you...
If it's the week, I'm working.
Oh, by the way, I missed one factor. He's a fellow bold man.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
well, that's
Yes,
right. You have
that's
that in
fine.
common.
We go to the same barber.
Same Bob.
I feel really odd. I'm gonna have to do something about that. So, asking you why Mondays are great. I'm gonna ask you how you start your work week and why it's great for you and how you really kickstart it.
Well, my work week really starts on Sunday.
Okay.
We start every week with church here on Sunday. The coffee shop is actually owned and operated by a church. We're doing a new church start here because, in part, we believe that Fort Wayne has enough churches, but not really enough places where people can connect in community, in spiritual depth.
It's great.
And so we start out with church. We meet here at 10:30 on Sunday morning, and every week we start with a very basic question, and that is, where have you seen God this week? And all the people who are gathered share, and it could be anything from, the crocuses were starting to come up, and it just lifted my soul, to my daughter-in-law and son or grandson were involved in a car accident, and the car was totaled, but they were safe. So those are the kind of things that we're looking for, and we're trying to remind people that if you keep your eyes open, you see more in the world than what we take for granted.
Oh yeah.
So that lifts my week. That always starts my week off well, and then from there on out, it's coffee and conversation.
Okay. What advice would you give how long have you been in this business?
We opened here in April of 11.
Okay,
so a little over 7 months.
And what kind of advice would you give, at just one pointer for people starting their own business?
Don't do it unless you can not do it.
Gotcha. I understand what you're
It's
saying.
the hardest thing in the world to do, but it's also the most rewarding. And if you can't stay the long course,
Don't
it's
even
not
start.
even worth it. It's not even worth it. Yeah, there's a lot easier ways to feed yourself and your family than it is to be a solo
Entrepreneur, right.
business person.
It's the passion and the consequences. Sometimes happiness and control comes with a price to pay.
Oh yes, very much.
Very big price
Yeah,
to pay.
and that's what I've been trying to do is follow God's leading in the midst of this and do what I couldn't not do.
I like that. Couldn't not do it.
Yeah.
Do you have an adage or philosophy that drives your life and your operation of your business on a daily basis? Something that guides you?
I think the underwriting principle that I've tried to live by is that everyone matters, that we are all made in the image of God, and there is no one person who is better or worse than another, and so we try to treat each person who comes through the door with the greatest of respect.
That's wonderful. And why didn't you ask him the superpower question?
Yeah. Yeah. If you would have a superpower, Sid, would you be Sid the Kid like in the TV?
You know, I'd really rather not have any superpowers. I think, God says with great gifts come great responsibilities.
Right.
And there are some days where I just have enough responsibilities. I don't want to add in any more to that.
That's a great answer.
It's interesting because we have been asking this question from many people who came on this show.
Everyone.
Everyone, and then I was thinking like, I already have the tools, what more do I need?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
it's just like I had to sharpen the tools.
I don't
Sometimes
know.
like I feel like, like I'm not really using
Yeah.
my tools.
But
Yeah.
just for fun,
Yeah.
I'd like to time travel. I mean, things like that.
There you go.
See what it was really like to live in a different period.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So,
And I cannot relate to that. I'm a history major geek,
yeah.
and so I always love to dig into those kind of things.
So while we're given all the tools, I think that would be kind of just my personal opinion. So tell us something about you that would surprise even those who know you well.
Well,
That you used to have dreadlocks.
and never quite dreadlocks, but I could have spouted a pretty good ponytail at one point in time. Yeah, yeah. I think thankfully that was back before the day when men were actually wearing ponytails. But yeah, the full head of hair once flowed fairly freely.
Yeah. Did you have a beard to go with
Oh
that?
yes, a full beard and hair and.
No, but people knew that because that was
Yeah.
visible.
Yeah,
But
you were
some-
trying to look
Yeah.
like Jesus.
Maybe
not.
No, maybe not. I was going through my rebel phase.
Yeah.
But is there something that people would just be surprised to know about you?
Maybe that the one regret that I have in the many things that I've done in life is that I didn't bungee jump in New Zealand when I had the chance.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, that's
You
good.
can still do it.
When I get back there, I will this time.
Yeah. Maybe you can do it in like Colorado or something.
It wouldn't be the
It wouldn't
same.
be
It
the
just wouldn't be
same.
the same.
No. It's the New Zealand
Yeah.
jump.
It's where they started it all
Oh,
off,
really?
and
Okay.
where they first began. Was there, watched it, and I just couldn't part with the dollars at that point. And I think that's one of the regrets in life is there are some things that you get one chance for,
That's right.
and you don't take advantage of it because you think it's going to cost too much in life, and it's not often in money even, but you think it's going to cost too much and you don't take advantage of it. I've got a few of those.
Oh, I think we all do.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like it's gone and then you can't get back. So anyways, how do people get hold of you? What's the
Are you always
website?
here? It sounds like you're always here.
Yeah, I'm usually here. One of the things that I look for is how do I make connections with people, and being available is the key to that. So I'm usually here after 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning and until we close in the evening. I try to take off at least one day off of the week. Sometimes that happens, sometimes it doesn't. But the best place to find me is here behind the bar making coffee.
Great. And here is, what's the address here?
This is New Ground Coffee Company, 5925 North Clinton in Washington Square Shopping Mall, right across from Bishop Dwenger.
What's the phone number?
The phone number is 260-444-5450.
Okay.
And your services on Sunday are 10 o'clock?
10:30.
10:30.
10:30 on Sunday. But if they come at 10, we'll give them some coffee to start with.
Good. Well, thank you so much.
So anyway, we would like to thank you for coming and joining us today.
It's been a
and
pleasure. It's been a
allowing us
pleasure
to have
very much.
the show. And we would like to thank the audience for listening in. We appreciate your participation. This is Monday Morning Jolt. Use it.